Hey everybody, I'm Getty.
I'm Kevin, welcome to Wrestling Breakdown. Today we have a special guest.
This is my brother, Finn Cahoon. He
does the action figure roundup.
Every other day on Quick Wrestling News and WrestlingRegime.com. By the way, this is, of course, the official video cast of WrestlingRegime.com. We'll have a link in the description and the website's name, as always. So, we have Finn here on the show today because we're going to talk about video games again, because in our last video game episode, we got a little bit off track when Kevin and I started to beat the shit out of each other, and I realized there were a lot of things we glossed over. We didn't even mention either Day of Reckoning game.
Did you talk about the Wrestling Monster Truck game?
We did. We talked about Crush Hour. But don't worry, we covered Crush Hour. So today we want to talk about some more games, and Finn really likes video games, as I do. He's a really big Day of Reckoning fan. He's going to have a lot more to say about it than either of us could, because my opinion on both of those games is that they were fun, but they were only fun because what the hell else was I supposed to play with only a GameCube? Okay, well, let's get this started. So we'll start with the first Day of Reckoning.
I have nothing to say here.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't.
I didn't play Day of Reckoning.
Yeah, okay, because obviously it was a GameCube exclusive title. The roster was really weird. It came out around the time JBL was still one of the company's top guys, and he wasn't actually playable in the game.
And Mark Jindrak was in that a lot. He was one of the most difficult people to beat, because I remember in that game the very sucky people, the jobbers, had such a high reversal rate for like, it's just like you playing John Cena versus Mark Jindrak, and Mark Jindrak will reverse every move.
Mark Jindrak may not be able to win any matches, but he can sure as hell counter a DDT. Yeah, the roster was really weird. It was highly unbalanced. There were a couple of guys who had high overalls, and everybody else had stuff that was in like the 70 range.
There were three unlockables. It was Brutus Beefcake, Bret Hart, and Andre the Giant, I think.
Why was Brutus Beefcake an unlockable every game? Who Brutus?
And they all had like 90 and
the highest
and above overalls.
The highest overalls in the game were Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. They both had 90s.
What was Mark Jindrak's overall?
I forgot, it was like
70
something.
something.
That's a bit low for the Reflection of Perfection.
I'm pretty sure John Cena was like 79 or something.
He had like 80 something. But the game had no announcing. The character models were weird.
I'd rather have no announcing than like Shut Your Mouth, where it's sporadic announcing.
Yeah, but the sporadic announcing is so funny. And
it's funny because you'll 5 minutes into a match, you'll do your finishing move, will be like, I'm Jerry Lawler!
Okay, the thing about announcing in wrestling games, the thing about announcing in these games is that it's not very good, but even when it's not very good, it's still just an essential part of the experience. Otherwise, it just seems weird. Like, I'd rather have, personally, terrible announcing than just generic rock music playing in the background.
One of my favorite features...
It's like a mix, dubstep now.
Yeah. One of my personal favorite features of a Day of Reckoning was you could get up on an announce table with another table, and you could set that up there, and if you were Undertaker, you could last ride them through 2 tables. And you can't really do that in the other games because it's too cartoony.
To Day of Reckoning's credit, you said cartoony, but to Day of Reckoning's credit, it was, in some respects, it was a lot more realistic than the current games, and by realistic I mean really fucking annoying, because in the newer games, if you start a grapple, it can't get broken up. In Day of Reckoning, everything can get broken up. Your finisher can get broken up in Day of Reckoning.
It's realistic, it's too much.
Yeah.
You're breaking up in WWE 12 though. Yeah.
Realism, in Day of Reckoning's case, the realism kind of inhibited the playing experience a little bit. So, I think Day of Reckoning...
Well, they try to make it too realistic, which then, in turn, makes it unrealistic, because they break up, every finisher. When does that ever happen?
Yeah.
Ever.
And so, Day of Reckoning, it was decent, had a lot of flaws, but, as far as a game for the Nintendo crowd, it could have been way worse.
I want to talk about this, just bringing it up on the fly. Okay, games every year. It's hard to market it because it's basically almost the same game every year.
Yeah.
With maybe a couple of guys that probably don't matter too much. so what they do is they bring in different features.
Yeah.
To like try and market the game. What do you guys think some of the best and worst features are for games?
I don't care about any
well,
of the
no, not like match types, but like things that they put in there that you couldn't do the year before. Like in 2007, they introduced
the stamina thing.
No, the crowd. You could go over the crowd barrier.
Oh, I love that. That was awesome.
It was alright. It was the fact that it was so limited bothered me.
I remember on SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. I used to be the Great Khali and play Royal Rumble and just win every time. And one of the best parts about that was the over the crowd barrier part. These like the upper right corner. Depending on which angle you played on, the upper right corner it had like a whole bunch of speakers you could throw people into, and it had like a construction site.
Only problem is if you were like on like a no disqualification or like a hardcore match, whatever, where you pinfalls count anywhere. If you reverse the move, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because you just can't reverse shit in there.
Yeah.
Very bad physics.
I honestly, with these, like, the SmackDown vs. Raw and, WWE, as it's called now, the series is one of the only series where I'll just kind of blindly buy it regardless of what they implement or they don't implement.
The game's never going to be horrible, really.
And even as bad as they get, they're still fun because I want to play as new people. I want to play as the guys that I like. I can't wait to play as Daniel Bryan with no hair and a beard. That's going to be awesome. They're going to have all this great stuff. So, as I don't pay attention to a lot of features like
stuff like, and then like the Royal Rumble meter.
Oh, that's so stupid.
I hate
Wait,
it.
what happened?
Where you put somebody out and you like push them like.
The Royal Rumble thing is something that they just have struggled for so long to get right.
It's not something you're ever gonna get right.
Like shut your mouth. It's too easy to eliminate guys.
Well, you can only get like 5 people in the ring or 6 people in the ring at once. So like at most it's gonna be a minor inconvenience.
Shut your mouth has. The older games, I think, though, do Royal Rumbles better.
They do.
Because as annoying as it is, you can get more people in the ring, and...
Well, how many people can you get in the ring in the new one?
I don't know.
6.
Oh, so it's the same... How many did you get to shut your mouth? Like 8?
6. Because it has 4 meters on the top and 2 on the bottom.
One of the best parts about wrestling games, just in general, that I think, is the fact that it's not split screen and it pretty much never could be.
Yeah, it's one of the least annoying games to play with more than one person.
Yeah,
from a visual standpoint.
It's just like it's not split screen.
Yeah, you don't have like that bar
problems.
in the middle.
And back on Day of Reckoning 2 subject.
Yeah, so after Day of Reckoning, I think people really liked it, even with its flaws. So they released a sequel, and I was never a big fan of the sequel because there were a lot of weird aesthetic choices that they made with the characters, but the models were great. I think personally the models in Day of Reckoning 2, from what I remember, were some of the best that we've seen in a wrestling game, especially for GameCube. It was pretty impressive.
I remember the story mode of that. It was John Cena and Batista. And John Cena was the WWE champion, Batista was the World Heavyweight champion, and for some reason someone stole your belts.
I remember
and it's
that.
Just,
but one of the problems is they still didn't have a fully voice-acted storyline, and that's the kind of thing that in 2005 when that game came out, 2006, that's unacceptable. SmackDown vs. Raw 2000. The original SmackDown vs. Raw, which came out in 2004, had a fully voice-acted storyline.
Well, the thing is, it's why would you? They only have one story you can do. Why would you just get the full voice acting?
Yeah. There's no excuse for that.
Did you guys talk about?
With no voice
did you guys talk about WrestleMania 19?
No, we didn't.
No, that's a great one. I was gonna bring that up. WrestleMania 19 is a great wrestling game. It's got really good character models for the GameCube. It's got a gigantic roster. There are so many people. There are a lot of cool alternate costumes. One of the other fun things is it brings back the whole, in a lot of more modern wrestling games, the weapons break after 3 hits, but in the older games they don't, and WrestleMania 19 retains that.
I remember this one time, we were playing as The Rock and Hulk Hogan, and we just kept throwing stuff at Randy Orton, and that was back when Randy Orton had the...
Yeah, it was when Randy Orton had the mop top, beating the shit out of Jobber Randy Orton.
What about, I love SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, or Shut Your Mouth, where you could walk around and fight. Like,
Yeah.
how many, like, there were so many options for that. It was awesome. You could go to the parking lot.
Yeah, Shut Your Mouth, you could go out into the middle of Times Square, or was that Here Comes the Pain?
That was Here Comes the Pain, where you could get up, you could,
That
you
was
jumped like 10 feet and got up a level, and then you jumped onto the helicopter.
Yeah. That was ridiculous, but it was so fun. Like, I'd rather sacrifice realism for just fun.
Absolutely. It's wrestling. How real is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
One thing about WrestleMania 19 was the story mode where you were fighting Stephanie McMahon.
Oh my
and,
God.
and then there were levels, and like I just remember like getting up to like the dock level. Yeah, and the dock level was hard, but the levels before that, there was like a construction site, and if you're being Undertaker, you could just throw them and they just died.
The story of WrestleMania 19 is that Vince McMahon throws you out of the building, and Stephanie McMahon is just standing there waiting for you, and she's like, we're gonna cooperate and take down my father. And so you literally just go from level to level fighting Vince McMahon's goons. It's like the worst beat-em-up game in the history.
And like, they're not even
of
goons,
anything.
they're just workers.
Yeah, they're just like
they're tech guys.
And then sometimes you'll fight like Bubba Ray Dudley.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come out and try to fight you.
He'll be like the boss of the level. One of the best parts was the mall level. It's just like you could throw
There's a
people
mall
all
in the
off.
place?
Yeah.
There was one of the levels was a mall that you could play this horrible story mode on.
Did you run around your
Let's
wrestling
play that
gear?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on who
You could be
picked.
a badass on Undertaker.
Yeah, they had the American Badass Undertaker.
You
which
want-
That
was
was his
cool. So he
default
doesn't really
outfit.
look like a wrestler, so it was a little bit more realistic when you play as Undertaker.
That was actually his default outfit.
Yeah.
Because that was the time when he was.
Because at WrestleMania 19 he fought Nathan Lane and Big Show.
No,
Or was that-
Albert or A-Train and Big Show.
Oh, okay.
And Nathan, whatever.
Oh, Nathan Lane was supposed to be his partner, and
That was so stupid.
that was really
I
stupid.
remember A-Train was in that. He was really weird.
I want to get it now because my
Yeah, so do I.
love for A-Train.
I want to get WrestleMania 19 on DVD.
Yeah,
Love
it's a
that.
great show, great game.
The graphics on the back of the box of WrestleMania 19, they were really good. He's just like they had Kurt Angle doing this thing, and for some reason we thought it was a real picture, probably 'cause we were like 8. But
This is like a SmackDown Shut Your Mouth graphics were gonna be unbeatable, and nobody would ever top those.
One of the weird things.
Well, it was because I was Hulk Hogan, and he looked fucking
Hulk
great.
Hogan in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. That is, you will not find a better Hulk Hogan model
Ever.
in any game.
Ever.
I don't. We were talking about this pretty much every time we're hanging out and not doing this. We play Shut Your Mouth now, because a friend of mine gave it to me for free because he didn't want it anymore. So we've been playing that a lot.
Thank you, John Caruso. If you ever see this
If you're
video,
watching this, so we got SmackDown. I got SmackDown Shut Your Mouth for free, and we've noticed that the models. The like lower tier guys have these ugly, pale, horrible
like
character
Sean
models.
Stasiak.
Sean Stasiak, like, look, I
Looks
can,
like him, but
I can forgive them for not putting any effort into Sean Stasiak.
but it was inexcusably
Unacceptably bad. He looks like an Asian guy who got run over by a steamroller.
His like forehead is like from here to
Yes,
here,
and then his
his
eyes are like down
nose-
here,
Yeah,
and then there's his mouth. He speaks in poetry in the game too.
Yeah,
That's an unrelated note.
Yeah. Watch your back. I'm Sean.
But then you get the model for like Brock Lesnar or like Hulk Hogan, and it's really freaking good. Like
Hulk Hogan's just like WWE.
I would
whoever
never-
THQ or you guys outdid yourself.
I would never play as Hulk Hogan in that game, but I fight him just so I can be like, man, why is this so much nicer than like any Hulk Hogan model in any other game?
My favorite person to be in any video game ever was Goldberg, because you could do the shotgun kick.
Oh my
and
god!
the whole screen
and it's
just
best when
shook.
you fight like a woman, so you just kick her and it's like
They just die.
it's great. My favorite character to pick is I either pick Brock Lesnar when I actually want to win, or I pick Albert when I want to get beaten by Ivory.
What was the challenge?
When I want to get beaten by Ivory, I pick Albert. Are there any other significant games? I feel like we covered the brunt of the SmackDown vs. Raw series last time, and now we've talked
SmackDown
about.
vs. Raw. We didn't cover it. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008.
It was a
Great game.
great one, yeah. It has a horrible cover because the cover is Lashley, Undertaker, and I think
It wasn't Shitsky, but Shitsky was definitely in that and like hilarious.
Yeah,
I
Snitsky was
remember we
prominently
used to-
featured in one of the games.
Schnitsky.
You got it like freshman year, like right when we moved here.
Did he punt a baby in the game?
Maybe,
I forget. I think it was Cena on the cover. Was Cena Lashley Undertaker?
Yeah, it was ECW Raw SmackDown.
It was an ugly cover, but I remember it's a great game. It has some great models.
CM Punk looks amazing.
Everybody looks amazing.
I'm really tired right now.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Now I never played that like at all.
I love that game.
2009. I never played it either. Actually, I always would see it in the store, and we talked about this in the last one. We definitely did. The cover just always turned me on.
Yeah, it's just
Shawn
like
Michaels
Triple H and Shawn Michaels are definitely pretty awesome. But I mean,
SmackDown vs. Raw they've had some great. One other great wrestling game. It's not related to WWE. Is Galactic Wrestling for the PlayStation 2. It's based on this cartoon that used to be on. Well, it's a Japanese cartoon. It was on Saturday mornings on Fox. That's a great wrestling game. It's Galactic Wrestling featuring Ultimate Muscle. Even if you don't know any of the characters, it's just fun.
That game was great.
It's just like fun arcade wrestling. The characters are awesome, even if you don't know who they are. The graphics are really good for a PS2 game that came out, pretty late in the system's lifespan, I think.
You guys I'm looking up something real quick.
You go on with your bad self. But if you can track down Galactic Wrestling, it's really cheap. It's definitely worth a buy. It's rare, kind of.
It basically just models other wrestlers.
Yeah, it's like some of the characters are like parodies of real wrestlers.
This one guy, his name is Poseidon. He's supposed to be Hulk Hogan. He has
Neptune is Hulk
Hogan.
One of the guys is Hulk Hogan from Japan.
Who's Poseidon?
Poseidon's just a guy. If anything, Poseidon is supposed to be like the giant, like Big Show.
Wait.
Poseidon is Big Buddha.
Oh, Big Buddha, yeah, Big Buddha.
Other terms from the show that most of you watching probably won't know. Some of the characters are like actual parodies of real wrestlers. You can't actually play as him, but there's a character who's like a Dusty Rhodes parody. There's an Abdullah the Butcher parody. There's lots of stuff.
I have a game whole series that was bad.
That's a great game if you can find it. If it's a little out there, but it's really fun, fast paced, like arcade wrestling. It's cheap, but it is hard to find.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a bad series. There was only 2 games. ECW Hardcore Revolution, I think it was called, and Anarchy Rules. They were both.
For what system?
They're for PlayStation, I'm pretty sure, and Nintendo. I got it. You know No, you didn't live here then. In like 2000, there used to be a Hollywood Video over on Mainline. It was where D'Angelo's is. Remember how I went to get pizza?
No, I probably.
It's over near the graveyard.
I know what you're talking about.
Mainline. That sounds so generic. You know the Hollywood Video over on Mainline? That's where you're gonna see it.
I wish they still had Hollywood Video. I have such fond memories of it.
No, but the games were just awful. I only played Hardcore Revolution, and I was RVD because I wanted a wrestling game, but I didn't have any of the good ones. That's all they had, so I got that. I was RVD because he's all I knew. I guess I knew Tommy Dreamer because he used to be my favorite wrestler.
Tommy Dreamer.
Zack Ryder.
Like 2003. He did it. Disagree. You're right, but it's just awful. The crowd is either really silent or going nuts. There's no
middle
in between. It was just a really bad game. It was like, it didn't look like it was 2000.
Another thing, I forget what the name of the game was. But it was a WCW game for the N64.
It was Nitro, was it called?
Yeah.
I think it was just called WCW Nitro.
Yeah, it was
we talked about that in the last one.
You did?
How we created John Cena with a green mohawk.
Yeah, did they talk about how the N64 cartridge was blue?
No.
Yeah, because it's just I found it at a flea market.
I don't remember.
And I was just like, why is this cartridge
Is it
blue?
WCW Mayhem?
It's one of the N64 WCW games.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
Nitro.
Well, yeah, it probably was Nitro.
Yeah.
WCW Mayhem is the one I was talking about with the damn cattle prod. Yeah, this is it.
Another.
It's all.
Wow, Goldberg's on the cover. How weird. Another old, like not old, but PS2 wrestling game that isn't WWE. Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. It's like.
Was that the Sprite game?
Yeah, it's like 2D. Arcade wrestling, and I bought it years ago, and I just really couldn't get into it. If I revisited it now, I feel like I'd like it more.
Really?
But it was made up of characters that were literally all just like generic versions of real wrestlers. like they looked exactly like actual like WWE past and present talent, but they had like the like random names. Like they had the Road Warriors, they had Batista. They weren't called the Road Warriors and Batista. Definitely not a game for kids because it was so complicated.
Wait, what was the one game?
Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, it was called. If I could find it now
Who was it? Truth Slayer that talked about that game?
Came out like 3 years ago only.
If I could find it now for the PS2 cheap, I would probably pick it up just to see if it's any different than I remember it.
You got it for $15 new like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a game out there, you can get it, and it's like, you can get any wrestler, like, at all.
It's probably that.
No. It's like, because I remember I was here in 2007 on summer break, and I got really Truth Slayer. He's another wrestling guy online.
Mm-hmm.
But, he was talking about it, and it's just like any wrestler.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he did that on purpose.
Oh, okay. It's just like, it's just he's awful. I don't want to get it. Apparently the graphics are awful, but I don't care.
Well, what is it? It's like a 2D, like it's like a sprite based
game. But
that's cool.
Is it like semi-current at least?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
All right, I think we should close with this. It's one of the better wrestling games I think ever. I'm not sure how you two feel about it. WWE All Stars. I really love it. I know it's difficult, but I think the character models are great. They're really cartoony, obviously, but it works. They have a lot of my favorite guys in there. You can play as Drew McIntyre and Jack Swagger, which I think is awesome that they're both like nobody and they still put them in this game.
Yeah.
Got a lot of legends. The only problem with it is, of course, the difficulty can get kind of like controller throwingly annoying at times.
And also, like all the problems that I have with it, probably why like we don't play it as much, is like each character only has like 4 moves.
Well, they have more moves if you know how to input the controls the right way, and there is complexity to it. But if you can, if you can get more moves out of your wrestler, it's really rewarding. I always like playing as Macho Man because he can jump around, and like a lot of the aerial moves in the game are really nice looking, and the graphics are really good. So that's
they're awesome. Honestly, I really like.
It's a great game. The entrances are hilarious.
Oh God,
CM Punk's entrance is great. Yeah, he does this cheesy thing, like a really exaggerated version of his.
And Miz goes like this.
Yeah, Miz does the wrong thing. It's hilarious.
It's alright. It's passable because there's not a realistic part of that game really.
Yeah, but that's a really great game. I don't think a ton of people bought it, but everybody who did basically agrees that it blows, in terms of just technical gameplay, it just blows SmackDown vs. Raw and WWE 12 out of the water. But, I mean, of course it's not for everybody. It's weird. It's got a really old school feel to it.
Yeah.
If you own that, you would definitely like Galactic Wrestling that I was talking about earlier. But WWE All-Stars is the rare wrestling game that I think is good even on like a technical level. It's not really glitchy at all. Like I said, the roster's great. So that's a great game. So I think, unless you guys have anything else.
Well, one game we would all recommend to everybody to play.
Day of Reckoning 2.
Finn says Day of Reckoning 2. I guess I gotta say it's a toss-up between Galactic Wrestling and All Stars. I would
say All Stars just because it's more relatable to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess my recommendation is All Stars because I don't think a ton of people bought it, but it's fun. There's a lot of downloadable content for the guys that aren't in it. You can get more people. It's just a great all-around game. If you're a WWE fan and a video game fan, you should definitely pick it up.
I don't know if I want this to be my game. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. I feel like enough people have played it. The roster in that game is like.
It's a great roster. I mean, I don't know. Isn't Shut Your Mouth like your favorite game ever?
It's nostalgic.
A lot of people have played that too. I think. Though.
Shut Your Mouth. Yeah, definitely. I'll say either the SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, or Here Comes the Pain. Either one of those. The roster in Here Comes the Pain though is really good.
Yeah, because you have like the guys who were like getting bigger, like even like John Cena's in that, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio,
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Undertaker, everybody.
Yeah, that game definitely has a great roster. So,
You know, it would have been nice that what they should have done. They should have done a best of SmackDown right before they switched to SmackDown versus Raw.
yeah.
The best people and like the most favorable or well received like things. They need to do that one.
Oh yeah. Did you guys talk about the WrestleMania 20 original Xbox game that got like no press at all?
We haven't played like that.
Yeah,
I heard
exactly.
it
Like
good,
I
heard
well, yeah, everybody
Raw,
says-
Raw 1 and 2 were good.
Did you talk about WrestleMania 18?
No, haven't played that either.
Well,
So we
well-
can talk about it. Well, I mean, we can't talk about a game we didn't play. Shut up, all right, guest.
God damn
You're
it!
just a
Finn.
guest.
God damn it!
All right, so that's the end of this episode. Unless this guy wants to keep piping in.
Wait,
were there any Raw games?
Yeah,
Yes, Raw 1 and 2
I just
for
said
the-
Raw
Oh, yeah,
1 and 2
yeah.
are good.
You stop talking now.
Alright, this is Finn Cahoon.
Interrupter extraordinaire. Of course, he has
Review
his
City.
he has his own website. that
Review
he
No, I'm kidding, Finn. You're a good
Yeah,
sport.
keep saying it. Yeah, it will only
Your little
it's
site,
good because
buddy.
people are probably not gonna.
It's because he's gonna be a freshman next year. He's
sucks.
gonna get the business.
He's got a website where he reviews mostly wrestling action figures. It's Review City. If you just Google Review City.
WWE.
Yeah, I told him he needs to change the URL because
But I can't
nobody
change
is
it.
going to type that URL.
I tried to put like one of those underscores, but that still doesn't work.
Why don't you just change it to reviewcity.blogspot.com?
That's apparently already taken.
This is a conversation for another video.
Review City. Well, all right, yeah, we'll discuss this in detail when we get home.
That's Getty.
as-
This I want to do it this time. You always
Okay.
do it. I'll see if I do it good enough.
Okay.
Alright, this is Getty. This is Finn. I'm Kevin. Be sure to check out Getty and I's articles on QuickWrestlingNews.com.
Action figure roundup.
Action figure roundup. He's really fucking me up. Getty writes for like 4 million wrestling websites, so if you want to check all those out.
I suck. I don't know why so many websites want me to write for them.
Yeah, it's a down period in all of wrestling, including online wrestling websites. And so check out WrestlingRegime.com.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
That.
Check out WrestlingRegime.com. It's a great website. It's got even more than like this stuff. Now you point your hands over, like down. Oh, him.
Oh, look down.
Jesus Christ, yeah, over me.
We're never having
There you
you on
go.
the show again.
Alright, WrestlingRegime.com. Check it out. It's like got like all this shit on there. It's like check it out. Check it out.
Yep.
Just check it out.
Thanks for watching.
Watch this. Watch this. Oh, damn.
We're on it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright,
Hey everybody, I'm Getty.
No. Alright, no. We have to
Wrong.
restart.
Wrong.
We have to restart because this asshole decided to introduce himself. Alright.
I thought that we were doing like a here, then here, then here.
No! We are gonna introduce you because you're the
God
guest,
damn it.
Finn. God damn it.
What?
Unless you have something for the blooper reel now.
I feel like you should just come out of nowhere into the video. And
Oh, hey Finn! Oh, hi Finn!
Let's just give him.
So anyway, how's your sex life?
let's give him entrance music.
No,
We could edit it in.
I'm not gonna do
But we're
that.
gonna give him Rob Conway's entrance
Can we-
music from when he was the con man. Just look at me. Hey, you're gonna do that. You're gonna enter.
I'm
Wait,
not.
Yes,
gonna
you
do
are.
that, No.
Fine, I won't give you Rob Conway's music.
Come on,
Just-
you
You're not gonna give me any type of music. 'Cause I'm not doing that.
Just
Why-
look at me.
Why are we still recording?
This is for the post-episode blooper reel.
Really?
Yeah, we always have a post-episode blooper reel.
Does it play that music in it?
No.
Well,
This blooper reel's running too long. Let's get this thing rolling here.
oh my god. Why is it still recording?
Here's the intro to the.
No!
That's like video game music. That's perfect.
I'm not entering. I'm just
still think you should make Richards.
No.
Shut up,
Alright, go.
You shut up.
Finn.
Wait, who is he? Is he just your brother?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Wait, what?
We were gonna introduce you as like a joke name.
But alright, I guess not.